who's funding Burn Tesla, Save Democracy protests. To say that it's interesting is an understatement. I know that a lot of you don't have the time to just sit down with your phone and peruse different websites and read articles that people have written. That's why you turn to my show, because I do. And Tyler is with us now. There he is, staring at you on the stream. Tyler, how you doing? Good to meet you.
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for having me, Dave.
This is really good, because I've been saying all along, where's the money coming from that's funding these protests and things that are going on, that are getting people to go out and do dumb stuff like throw Molotov cocktails at Tesla cars and in a car lot, or as we've seen on some Tesla cameras, somebody walking by a car and just keying it and writing things on it. I have no idea what they're writing, but I'm sure it's not, hey, you want to get dinner on Sunday. Uh, what's First of all, let me just ask you, what's going on in our country that
Yeah,
people feel like they should do this?
yeah. Well, it's really disheartening. I think what we've seen, constant demonization from the left of any effort to bring the government into line with the American people. And what Doge has been doing, President Trump came in like a bull in a china shop, and Elon has been right on his side, going from agency to agency to agency, exposing the waste, fraud, and abuse. And the left has been sounding a five-alarm fire as though this is the end of the world, when really all that's happening is we're finally getting an audit of the federal government that is long overdue. In my opinion, we're deep in debt. We have to figure out where our money is going, and a lot of this money was going to prop up woke causes in far-flung parts of the world that
Hmm.
Americans just don't want our tax dollars going to. Like, I was one of the things that really shocked me was I saw there's a lot of money that's going to promote journalism in Ukraine. And I'm like, why am I? I'm a journalist, right? I
Right.
work for a living. I have to pay taxes. Part of those taxes are going to my competitors in a foreign country in order to pay their salaries. And I'm like, this makes no sense at all. And this is perverse. I mean, it's like saying that the American people and their work and their labor and their taxes don't matter as much as promoting some, woke cause halfway across the world. Key thing here, and Elon always says this over and over again, is if you look at the people who are complaining the most, they're usually the ones who are on the take. And
Yep.
so what I did, I did the research before Trump won. I went through and saw in the Biden administration, I have a book called The Woktopus: The Dark Money Cabal Manipulating the Federal Government.
Right.
And this book focuses on the left-wing activist groups that seeded their staff and pushed their ideas into the federal government. And they used the bureaucracy to force woke on the American people. And so all of those, you remember in the election, all those Democrats who were saying, this is the end of our democracy. This is the end of our democracy. Well, if you put bureaucracy in for the word democracy, then they're actually right. And so I mean, I hope it's the end of the bureaucracy. I think really what we're going to see is the bureaucracy is already fighting back tooth and nail with all these lawsuits. Many of these court judges issuing nationwide injunctions to try to tie the president's hands.
Yes.
But what I've been doing is following the money, saying, because we get these big protests, and the left is going crazy about Elon Musk. And then somebody thought it was a good idea. I don't know who this was. I mean, I see Indivisible, which is an organization, has launched a guide for protests against Tesla. So they might be the ones who came up with this. But people have been going after Teslas and Tesla owners and just destroying their property willy-nilly as an act of, really domestic terrorism against Elon Musk, against Tesla, against the Trump administration. And if you are going and burning a Tesla with a Molotov cocktail, and you don't know who the owner of that Tesla is, he could be a very liberal guy. I mean, Tesla used to be the big hip car for the environmentalists to buy.
Right.
So like the idea that you're just going to burn a random Tesla is there are 6 ways till Sunday problems with that. But they're targeting these innocent people in the name of fighting Doge. And it's not really fighting Doge. I mean, it is driving down the cost of Teslas, driving down the sales, because a lot of people are scared to buy Teslas because their Tesla might just get burned. And it's so perverse. But I also think, Elon Musk is not caving on this. This domestic terrorist attack, these attacks that are lined up, and then this protest. I mean, I went to Indivisible, right? I went to these groups that are helping organize these protests because they claim, and they draw a bright line. And I think it's important to acknowledge that there is a division here between the protests, which often are peaceful, and then these violent attacks, these vandalisms, these throwing Molotov cocktails onto Tesla cars, into Tesla dealerships. They say we encourage people to protest peacefully, but we don't support any violence. I
Yeah.
mean, that line is an important line, but at the same time, when you have people marching in the streets of New York City with a sign reading "Burn a Tesla, save democracy," I'm not sure this passes the sniff test.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And in the next half hour of my show this morning, uh, Asra Nomani is going to be on with us.
Oh, nice.
I know that you talked to her quite a bit for your article, and so we're going to talk to her. But I think that the reason it's happening is because over the last 4 years, if you went in and destroyed somebody's property or you stole somebody's property, what happened to you? Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing. Nothing happened. In fact, in California, they said, go ahead and take at least $1,000. But don't take over $1,000 because then we'll come after you. But if you want up to $1,000, we'll let it slide.
It's all in the name of criminal justice reform, and a lot of it bankrolled by, surprise, surprise, George Soros, the Hungarian American billionaire who, pushed this soft on crime policy throughout the country, trying to get these prosecutors, rogue prosecutors, elected. It's funny, they won't prosecute crimes that impact everyday Americans, but they will prosecute as much as they can a certain former president who was running for president. It was a very interesting double standard there.
Yes, it
Although,
was.
of course, it all makes sense if you understand the political motivations behind it.